Hey, plumbing pros, welcome to the 471st episode of Potty Talk, where we're taking into the trenches, crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours, talking the business of plumbing, how to have a thriving, self-sustaining, and very profitable plumbing business while having a life too. And today, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood and underutilized growth tools in the plumbing world. That's social media. And no, I'm not talking about doing viral dance trends or begging for likes. I'm talking about using digital platforms to connect with your ideal customers, build trust, and drive revenue. So let's get to it. All right. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Potty Talk.
Yes.
Good to see you again, sweetheart. Yeah, and today we're talking about social media for plumbers, how to get customers with Facebook and Instagram. Social media. Do you remember, man?
Or what about MySpace?
That's where we come from. It gives you a feel right there.
Who was it that we were talking with the other day about Facebook? Who was it who said as soon as their grandmother friended them on Facebook, they were like, I'm out.
I'm out. Right.
So,
but there was a time. There wasn't
one of our clients.
right. There wasn't any of this, kind of a thing. But now social media is so important, so vital to the success of your plumbing business.
Yes.
And so that's what we're talking about here. So we got 3 gold nuggets here for you. Okay, on what you must have in place. And we'll start with gold nugget number 1, okay, that your plumbing business is a media company now. I know. Your social media page is a new front door of your business, okay? It's either inviting or invisible, okay? Which leads to my first point, that perception is profit. When a homeowner checks out your Facebook or Instagram, they're not looking for plumbing tips, okay? They're checking to see if you're legit. Do you look clean? Do your trucks look professional? Do you show up like someone they trust in their home? A sharp-looking feed builds confidence before the phone even rings. And that is so true. We say all the time that it ain't about plumbing. Okay, it ain't about plumbing. And I know you get on this. In fact, I know sometimes, usually my mouth makes us a little nervous because I kind of speak what's on my mind.
Yes.
But I have to admit that I get a little antsy with you sometimes with our new clients, and we're over. We have classes for those in the Success Academy, and so we always have new
live classes.
We'll have new members in our live classes. Okay, and so we get in, and we start finding out what they're doing, and so if they happen to show pictures, we get into posting pics and that kind of stuff, and we always. When we're new, we start posting pics of like the plumbing work we've done.
Right.
Like
putting those on your social media.
And you go right to, that's a big no-no.
Well, depends on what it is, right? It's don't post pictures of a yard being torn up because that's what the customer sees, right? Crap. And even if that's what they need, they don't want to see a yard tore up. It's always after the fact. Post the pictures after, not the before, we don't need to see the before. It's the after, or they, post the picture of the huge, gross, disgusting whatever that was just pulled out of a drain. Mrs. Jones doesn't want to see that. Do you want to see nice, clean running water? Absolutely. So yeah, you can post pictures of the job as long as they're what the customer ultimately wants, which is the job finished. A new faucet, a new water heater, whatever it might be. That are nice and clean and looks like, okay, that's plumbing. It looks like they do good plumbing work and all that. So,
right.
Yeah.
Which leads to my next point here, which is it's the T word, trust. Trust is a new currency. Okay. People don't call the plumber. Okay. They saw once online. They call the one they've seen consistently online, who's been popping up with clean uniforms, smiling text, clear messaging. All right. You don't have to go viral. All right. You just have to show up and show that you're the real deal. And that's the thing, again, that you're the real deal, not that your plumbing is the real deal.
Right.
Okay? All right? And the good news with this is it's never been easier. I'm going to go into old man form here.
Does old man, when we talk that, back in our day we did this and that, does that work with these youngsters?
I know. Do you even care?
Well, you take for granted. You take for granted what you have. And one of the things I think that a lot of plumbing business owners, if they recently started their plumbing business, is that they take for granted really how easy it is to be found because of the internet. You know, again, what we relied on back when we had our plumbing business except for the last couple of years, we relied on the phone book and TV advertising, radio advertising, billboard, that type of thing, because that's all there was. There just wasn't anything else. It was really expensive. But now, done right, because you're not a plumbing company. You know, you're also a marketing company, you're a recruiting company, you're a social media company, you're all the things. You're all those things except a plumbing company.
A plumbing company, right?
But it's a lot easier now because it's an easy game to win if you do focus on it.
And less expensive game to win.
Oh,
and that's the thing, because we're talking about it's the trust. Trust is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back when you had to do TV and radio, I mean, TV, you know, it was $300 a spot. You know,
and you couldn't just buy one spot,
right? I mean, and you had to be seen multiple times, because you're building trust. So they see you more. I mean, people judge a book by its cover, and really, we're really pretty simple. I mean, that's what's kind of, you know, with Facebook, we call them friends, because we don't even know them, but we're talking back and forth and we've seen them different. We're now friends. Well, that's not real friendship. You know that, right? But there is something about that we have more connection like that. Well, now with like Facebook and Instagram, it's easier. It's not $300 a pop. Okay, so you can just have your site. You just post. I mean, you know, so that's what I mean. And so it's also more a social, and it's called social marketing. I mean, it's a social environment. You must keep that in mind. That's one reason why we don't show plumbing pics and that kind of stuff on our social, really overall, because we're not going there to see plumbing. We're going there just to interact with people. Right.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, to Facebook or whatever. We're going there to interact with people. One thing too, I want to say, if you do post things out, I don't know if you're going to talk about this. When you do post things out on your plumbing business page, Facebook or Instagram or whatever it might be, share that on your personal page. So hopefully you've got your own personal profile, and then you've got a business page for your Facebook and for Instagram, TikTok, all the things. But then like and share it on your own personal profile, because more than likely you've got friends, quote unquote friends, or people that follow you or whatever, that are on that live near you, right? And so you constantly want to be sharing that out. Just don't let it flop on the business page and that's it. No, you've got to be active about getting it to share. Ask your friends to share it with their friends, because they probably have friends that live in and around their neighborhood as well.
Right. And this is just the game now. I mean, it is the game. Okay. And that brings my next point. You're already competing, so you might as well win. You know, Chucking a Truck is also on Facebook. Okay. But guess what? You've got a better team, better service, you know, better offer. Social lets you prove it. Show up online the way you show up at their door. Professional, polished, and confident. Okay, that's the way to play it. Okay, you know, I like how you teach in the academy with our clients. We talk about this, about how you say become like the mayor or the cheerleader, which is more your thing. I changed the mayor. It sounded more manly, because you said cheerleader, because of your cheerleading days, which is what you are. You're cheerleader. Go team, you know, go community, you know. But be the cheerleader or the mayor of your community. What do you mean by that?
Well, you have a local business, right? Your plumbing business is a local business, and so you want to be as local as possible. So that means interacting with other business owners in and around your community. Again, this is something that you don't think about when you start a plumbing business, is that I need to get out into the community and meet other businesses. And I'm not talking, you know, like an HVAC or something that's, you know, relative to plumbing. All the businesses, the local dry cleaner, the local coffee shop, all local. Don't do franchise. For the most part, you don't want to do franchise unless it's Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A, you've got to be local. Anyway, go out and meet with them. Go out and meet with the different businesses. And then what you want to do is, you know, just even if you're not comfortable doing video, that's fine. Just do a picture with you and the business owner and post it out on your social media. Hey, I had a great early morning meeting today at Joe's coffee shop, and they got the best service and the best scones, or whatever. Right. Doesn't matter. Post that out there, and then also ask Joe, the coffee shop owner, hey, will you share this on yours too? Right. So it's just constantly you being a part of the community and showing that you're in the community, that you're not, that there's some, large conglomerate, whatever, but you're active in the community and your business is focused on local.
Yeah. And of course you got your polo shirt on, or your nice shirt or whatever, with your logo and a logoed hat, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Don't just come off of a sewer job.
Right.
And then try to do it. No, don't do that.
So you're subconsciously getting your brand out there.
Correct.
But you're living socially. You're showing those kinds of things. And we've had clients where you just go like, I like the thing where the firemen are doing Toys for Tots or something at Walmart. And so you're dressed in a nice, polo shirt that's branded, and your hat and that kind of thing. And of course you ask the chief or whatever, hey, I want to do a little thing here in promoting you. And the fire department and Walmart and your Toys for Tots or whatever. And then just you ask 3 questions. Hey, I'm here. So you do a little video here. I'm here with Chief Johnson with the Fishers fire department's down here at Walmart. Hey, tell us what you're doing here. And hey, this is Toys for Tot, and I'll do that. It's great, and you just have that little quick, 3-minute video like that. Hey, so come on down here and let's support this.
Yes.
Right.
And that is how you can really stand out and do something different than what your competitors are doing.
Exactly.
So.
Okay, so do it, all right? Hey, before we get into gold nugget number 2, if you want to dig deeper into this and other vital topics like pricing and hiring, other actual things like get your butt out of the truck, then join my free school group. It's packed with training, resources, and a community of guys just like you looking to grow their plumbing businesses and their freedom. The best part, doesn't cost you a dime. Check the link in the show notes or go to milliondollarplumber.com/school and join us today. Let's build you a plumbing business that works for you and not the other way around. That's no good. Hey, Potty Talk pros. Looking for a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, electrical products, and more online? Look no further than supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is your go-to site for all your supply needs. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands. Plus, with fast shipping from coast to coast, your order will be delivered right to your door. Need help with an order? No problem. Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. Talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. As a Trade Master, you get access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM. So, what are you waiting for? Order plumbing, HVAC, electrical supplies, and more from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. Real people, real service. That's supplyhouse.com. Hey, we're talking about social media for plumbers. How to get customers with Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Okay,
or
and
TikTok.
All right, or all of that. Okay, I know that's okay. It all and that's the key. It does change. I mean, you got to stay on top of it and be aware.
I'm sorry, honey, to interrupt you. I want to ask a question. You guys can post it wherever you're watching this. What social media do you use just personally, right? And it's probably going to depend on age as well. I would assume TikTok is probably one of the most popular. We've never used it. Now we have one for $1 Million Plumber, but
and even that's newer.
Yeah, it's real new.
Yeah.
Just because TikTok came later, and neither one of us are necessarily into social media. Social media wasn't.
We're your grandma and grandpa that's on Facebook.
They just friended me.
Was that our kid? Or maybe that's our kid that's in it.
Our kids unfriended us.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I saying about that?
Just that. Yeah. Let us know what social media.
Oh, yes, let us know. Yeah, just put it in the comments. It'd be great. I'm just curious to see what the most popular is now. I think Snapchat's gone, correct?
Yeah. I don't know what, but you got to be on top of it.
Yes,
you do. And because that was our gold nugget number 1 is that your plumbing business really is a media company now. I mean, so you have that done. All right, which leads us to gold nugget number 2, and that's content is king, but consistency is the throne. All right, you don't need to be creative. You need to be committed. All right, you can do it. You don't need a marketing agency, all right? You need a phone, all right? A clean truck, a smiling tech, post the jobs, post the people, post the happy customers. Every time you do, you're building brand equity. That's how you stay top of mind, okay? When they need a plumber near me, that's how they find you, okay? It's so important, Educate and entertain. You don't necessarily need to dance, okay? You need to teach in a way that informs in a relatable manner. A 60-second clip explaining how to shut off the water main in an emergency, hits the home, or explaining how to test a backflow preventer does not, okay? Give personal value and people will follow you, okay? That is key, okay? And you can do it, okay? It really is easy, okay? You don't need, you don't need to do it every day. Trying to check, here's kind of a, content. I'm looking at my notes here just to kind of simplify it. But you don't need to do it every day, but you do need to be consistent. So if it's, every other day or, 3 times a week, it's doing that. Okay. The platforms like consistency. Yes. Okay. They honor that.
And and it's planning it out, right? What you don't want to do is, it's Thursday all of a sudden and you're like, shoot, I need to get some social media done. What am I going to do? I'm really busy today. Well, I'll try to do it tomorrow or whatever, right? It doesn't work that way. You really want to take some time. And if you're a plumbing power couple, this is a great thing to do at your weekly planning meetings. Sit down and let's figure out the 10 different posts that we want to do this month or maybe that might be strong, eight social media posts that we want to do this month that is very community driven, right? Where we're out in the community, like, okay, where can we go? Who can we talk to? Whatever. Plan it out and then know when we're going to go do those. Have those on the schedule. Batching, what's quote unquote batching is really the way to go, is kind of do 3 or 4 in one day. Right. Just to kind of, you've got your shirt on, your nice polo shirt on, you're in the mindset of doing it. So you're just going out and doing it. That's the easiest way to do it. Now I get it. That might not be possible, if you're still in the truck, but that's certainly something to shoot for, to get your butt out of the truck.
Yes.
So that it can be done.
Right. And again, there's apps that can help you once you get them batched or whatever, that help you deliver those or whatever. Okay. There's easy things out there that you can use.
You can do the posting to all your different social platforms. And
then also, I made a point, I kind of threw it in there and kind of jumped ahead of myself a little bit, but I mentioned about making it relatable. Because that's a point I wanted to get to. It's not just, you want to educate, okay, but it needs to be in a relatable kind of a way. So like the example of, want to educate them on who you are, your plumbing business is out there, but you just can't be at them, I'm a plumbing business, we're a plumbing company, we do this and do that, so call me. That doesn't work. That's what we subconsciously, like we said, interviewing the fire department chief, with your gear on and that kind of thing, and that you're educating that way, and it's relatable in that you're giving them something that's in their life too. Does that make sense? Okay. Even so, if you take it, even when you do speak on something with plumbing, I just kind of, what came to my mind, was that, do you know where your main stop is? I kind of had a squirrel moment there of main stop versus, backflow or talk. Yeah. Educating that, having something directly about that on plumbing, they can relate to that. But backflow preventer, how to tell, they don't even know what that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really, even though it does affect their life, but it really doesn't. Right. Because
Right. How to check a shutoff valve behind the toilet. If it's making sure it's working and not leaking, because it never fails when you're in an emergency and you need to shut off the shutoff valve behind the toilet. Is it working at all? For one, or is it leaking or whatever? So those types of things that are very relatable to a customer's home. You don't want to go in too deep, right? Garbage disposal. Another one is garbage disposal that's making a horrible noise. Okay. People can relate to that. So those are the types of things that you want to do to educate, but in a short way. It can't be this 5-minute long thing on shutoff valves or whatever. Mrs. Jones isn't going to hang around for that. But if you do educate, but at the same time make it not entertaining, but make it at least enjoyable to watch.
Because if you're consistent and then you make it so that enjoyable for them to watch, the platforms like that. We call that, the algorithm or whatever. And that's, my final point here is, algorithm proof your brand. All right. The goal isn't to go viral. The goal is to be visible every day in your zip code. in front of the people who matter. That's how you beat the algorithm. You show up consistently, like a pro with a message that says, we're here, we're ready, and we're worth every penny. Worth every penny, that's what you do. And you do that, okay, you're going to show up, because the platforms reward that. It's kind of, I use the example of kind of this, I think this example works. I kind of look at it this way myself. Just like, if you're working for someone and you constantly, you kind of do, you show up on time, you work their system, you do whatever, that kind of thing. That business will reward you by what? Giving you a raise or giving you more benefit, right? That kind of a thing. Okay. People still think that way about that's how it works. Or I just saw the WNBA as we're doing this, just said, they had the All-Star game for the WNBA.
Really?
Who
ever knew about that?
I know, right? I don't care. Who watches girls play sport? Anyways. But they all wore, both teams, all wore shirts saying, pay us what you owe us. Well, the NBA has always supported, the WNBA has never been profitable. So they're asking for more money. Wait. So the girls are asking for more money.
The girls on the basketball team,
yeah,
the All-Stars,
all wore shirts
that said,
they're in the warm-ups for the first.
Pay us what you.
Yeah, pay us what you owe us. Right. Like they're in there. So it's instead of work. You don't make any money, all right. So we don't pay you anything. Right. So anyways, so I don't even know if that's why I don't know if the argument works. I know in society we think this way, but it shows you how business really does, because that's how algorithms work. That's the social platforms are rewarding you for being consistent,
right, and
for creating content that people watch all the way through or watch the majority of it.
Right.
And so the more that you're consistent, so it doesn't matter, not that you have to have 10 pieces a day, but if you are every day, that you do every day, or if you do every 3 times a week, that you do that every 3, that they see that, and that they see that your stuff is actually watched. Right. Okay. And then so they'll start showing you more and to more people and that kind of thing. They reward you for that. Okay.
Very true.
And so if you just be consistent. So that was a long way around that. I just kind of had a squirrel moment thinking there.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I'm still on the WNBA thing.
It's crazy. All right. Which brings us to gold nugget number 3, okay? Social media should make money, okay? Make you money, not stress, okay? Done right, it's a system, not a side hustle, okay? So you must delegate to dominate. Look, you don't have to do it all yourself, okay? Train your plumbers to snap the right kind of photos that you want, okay? Let your CSR post, install a shot or use, scheduling tools that we mentioned to auto post, 3 times a week. Create the system and then let the team run it, all right? You lead it, you lead the business, okay? You don't have to be doing all the work, all right?
Yeah, we just talk about that a little bit, systemizing it, delegating, or systemizing it in that, figure out at your planning meetings, what are the posts that we want to do for the month or what we might, if we're going to go out into the community or whatever it might be. There has to be a system to it or it isn't going to work. And that's true for pretty much anything in your business. If you don't put a system to it that staff can do consistently, then you're just managing chaos. That's all you're in turmoil. That's all you're doing. So things like this do need to have a system in place. And you're the plumbing business owner. Guess whose responsibility it is, right? To make that determination. Now, as you grow and you're adding on other staff, then yes, other people are doing it, and you are going to delegate and things like that. But man, it starts with you. And I've said this now in the last few potty talks. These are things you don't think about when you started a plumbing business. You just didn't think about it, that you needed to be the energy in something like social media and where am I posting and how am I showing up in people's feeds and things like that. But you did start a plumbing business, and so now you can like it or not. You can rail against it. It doesn't really matter. It's still true. But you've got a plumbing business. You started it. So now these are responsibilities that fall on you. And you can, again, either rail against it or get on board, figure it out, and make it work. Right. One other thing, can I say one more thing about showing up on social media? Branding is so important. Having a good brand and a good name for your community, that goes a long way. Again, if it's Joe Smith Plumbing, there's nothing that is recognizable, or it's nothing that is, feels a part of the community or whatever it might be. That you've got to have a good brand to really do well on social media. So
yes,
yeah, go back and watch some of our branding things.
Right. But that's still, the brand still works.
Yes,
it still plays there.
100%. Yes.
So important.
Yes.
Okay. And every post, all right, should have a purpose. All right. You're not posting for fun. Okay. You're posting to build trust, and showcase value, and invite people to book now, or simply to remember to, when they need a plumber. So yes, use call to actions, need help with a leak like this, call us today. Make it clear and make it easy. It's so important. Okay. You're not always looking to sell. Okay, that's the key point I was trying to think of there. We kind of said it earlier. It's not always not pushing plumbing. And the social, this is the social environment. It's like you're at a party. Okay, so you're at a party. If you go right in, you're trying to make the party all about you. Well, what happens? People start ignoring you.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you want to be kind of part of the life. Part of the party and all, right? And so that's you're joining in what everyone else is what would interest everybody, and then your personality is coming through that. So in this case, the personality is your brand,
right?
Okay, so you're looking to do things. It's as simple as you're walking your dog, out by the river. And you just do a thing here, and you got your plumbing hat on, and maybe just your regular clothes, but you got to, so they know this, it's you, and you can say, hey, it's Richard with Attaboy Plumbing here again. I'm just walking Shep here, and it just makes you think, wow, I just love the area that we live in. I love the, the Miami River here, and just I like these kind of days, just walking the dog and just being out, just makes me be glad to be alive, But that just kind of a thing.
Or when you're shoveling snow when it's winter, and you live obviously in a really cold place, it gets a lot of snow. Set something up, set your phone up somewhere, and talk while you're shoveling snow. Everybody in your area is used to shoveling snow, and being cold and all the things. So whatever works for your community, do that.
Right.
The other thing too, don't do coupons. And I know you said, no soft sell. So yeah, it's not constantly, so call our plumbing business. You don't know how to do this? Call our plumbing business. No, right. Not that. Right. But also, don't do posts offering coupons. It just doesn't work. Call us today, or whatever.
And save 10% off our super duper earth saving water conditioning system.
Right. Now I said that, but that you can do that now and then, given certain circumstances, but that can't be the constant thing. So if people that follow you are just constantly seeing coupon, right, or discount, you're
just selling me.
Yeah. You're just selling me, but then also whatever you're coming in to charge me, you're overcharging me. So and that's why you got to give me a coupon. So
exactly. All plays in all that. Right. Now, what you're trying to capture is like the example of, we're getting into spring, like in our area in Indianapolis, springs were very wet, and the basements, we always had basement flooding. So sump pumps and that kind of stuff was big. Well, everyone's experiencing spring. Hey, get ready for your spring cleaning. Hey, check your sump pump. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Do that.
Here's how to check.
But and if you are looking for blah blah blah, hey, we're having a 10% savings off our heavy duty blah 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 sump pumps.
Right. But those are very few and far between.
That's right. Few and far between, and it's hitting what everyone else. It makes sense. Everyone else is experiencing it too.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey, get your plumbing check. Hey, it's the holiday season. Gonna have company coming in and that kind of a thing. We get it. Here's a couple things that you can do to make sure that you're ready. But if not, we're having a 10% holiday sale. Blah blah blah. I mean that.
Right.
Okay.
But
it's not a constant.
No.
And those work because you've already kind of built a relationship with them, with these other things.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been active out on social media.
Okay. And then finally, you want to track what matters. Okay. Then scale. Okay. Look at the leads. Ask every caller, where'd you hear about us? All right. Find out fast, those simple social posts. Okay. They're turning into high dollar jobs. When that happens, it's no longer marketing, it's fuel. okay, when you do that. So some of those, so you are keeping track. We're keeping track of, now I'm spitting stuff out there, but you may have a certain kind of, one of the posts that kind of more people look and watch. Well, then you can make that part of your marketing budget where you can boost it, right? I mean, you can, put a few dollars into this post, and you're paying the social platform to push you out more.
Correct.
But you can feel better about doing that because you've done it for free, and you've noticed, say
that's an engagement.
Right. Say most of your posts, you always, maybe get 100 views, that kind of thing. But you got one that got 300 views. Well,
People like it.
Put $25 behind it, and get it out to more people. Okay.
Yes.
Because that means that they're liking the content of whatever you're talking about. Say maybe talking with the the fire chief at the whatever, and just how that was done, and found some interesting the way that turned out.
Right.
But you're there in your plumbing, subconsciously you're saying, all right, so it's worth putting $25 towards that.
Yes.
with all the branding kind of a thing. Okay.
Yes.
So there we go. I mean, social, it's a brave new world. That's the kind of, going back to the day we looked at these things, when we had to do.
And what's so funny, it's really antisocial, right?
Yeah.
It really is, because how are you, and I've got my phone here, how are you on social media, but you're in this, right? That this is what you're doing. And for those of you listening, I'm holding my phone and I'm just kind of scrolling and whatever. It's so antisocial.
Yeah.
It's so antisocial, which you guys, everybody sees it, right? Everybody here's somewhat guilty of it, of just walking down. We haven't done this, walking down the street, and you're just boom, boom, boom. You're just not paying attention to anybody. You're not a part of social. I don't think I've said this on a potty talk, but maybe I have. At the Manny Petty place, Manny.
You get your
nail salon, probably. Yeah. Where it's a pretty big place that I go to, and it's got all these pedicure chairs lined up against the wall, probably at least 10 on each side. But everybody is on their phones. Everybody. Nobody's talking to each other. Yeah. And me too. Back years ago, before phones, when you went to a place like that.
Before cell phones.
Thank you. Yeah. Before cell phones, that you talked. When you went to the beauty shop or whatever, just like in barber shop.
I go to the barber shop.
Same thing.
You go now, we sit and you wait, and now the guys are all on their phones. Mm-hmm. You tell the older, my generation, that's the first thing we go to, but we still would do it because now it's become a part of the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But you used to talk with guys you didn't know.
Right.
The guys, you'd be sitting in the chair talking with guys, and the conversations,
sure.
It's like the whole place talked. Mm-hmm. You don't do that anymore. Now it's...
Right. Yeah. So sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. So it's social media, but really, when it boils down to it, it's just so antisocial. Anyway, doesn't matter. You have a plumbing business. You need to be out there. You need for people to at least come across your material as they're scrolling through. And again, if you got a great brand, they're going to pick up on it, and it will be solidified in their brains.
And it's a game you got to play.
You got to play it.
Got to play it. So let's recap. What we covered here today with Gold Nugget number 1. Okay, your plumbing business is a media company now. So you can either let social media define you, or you can define how customers see you. Professional presence equals profit. Okay, it sure does. Gold nugget number 2, content is king, but consistency is the throne. You don't need to dance, okay, which saved me, okay? You don't need to be relevant, okay, and informative, okay? Simply be consistent, which builds trust and top-of-mind awareness. Gold nugget number 3, social media should make you money, not stress. Create a system, delegate it, okay? Track results. Social media isn't extra work. It's part of the engine that drives revenue, okay? And hey, if this hits home, and you book a call, okay? If you're ready to fast track your freedom, all right? If you're done guessing, done grinding, and ready to build a real plumbing business that gives you both profit and peace, okay? Book a free strategy call with one of my success coaches, all right? We'll get you pointed in the right direction so that you can build a plumbing business that serves you instead of the other way around, which is a pain in the arse, okay? So, check the link in the show notes or go to milliondollarplumber.com/call to schedule your free strategy call now, all right? But there we go. Social media for plumbers, how to get customers with Facebook and Instagram, and what do we have now?
All the things.
All the things, X, What do we X? What do we have? What's the other? TikTok. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Social
okay.
media.
But you don't need to dance. Okay.
You do not.
You don't need to dance.
It's bad.
You don't need to sing and dance.
Probably bad.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good stuff there. All right. As always, though, before I let you go, I want to remind you that you were purposefully and wonderfully created, and you were created to do great things. So plumb like a champion.
Bye, everybody.